Hey, hi, I'm Mona. This is for my dream journal. Yeah. Um, so I came up with a couple of realizations today. You know, the previous dream journal from this was something from the night before, and this was from last night. Last night was a really trippy dream. All right. I don't know if it was happy or sad. It was weird. Okay. The dream was I ran into someone I know out here, and I went to go get a hotel to stay at the hotel. That person didn't come with me, no. I know who the person is too. And I stayed there, and then I found while during my stay there that this person was still there around the hotel, but they were like sleeping in the car. I don't know what that's all about. Okay. But they were sleeping in the car because they wanted to be next to me, or I don't know. I don't know what the reason was. Like they didn't want to leave. So they were in the car. So that was part of the reason. The person didn't want to leave me. Okay, that was part of it. And then it switched off into another scene, kind of like, where, the place I was staying, they had a swimming pool. And I went to the pool and I saw that person there. And that person was wrestling with the hugest snake I ever seen. Like a boa. It was like a thick, big snake just wrestling in the water with that thing. Wrestling. And you know what? It was weird because as I was watching, I wasn't like, oh my God, save him. I was just watching. I didn't have any type of reaction to it. I was just like watching. And I was like, whoa, and this person's wrestling, the water's thrashing, and this thing is winding around his arm, and, all this stuff. And then, it was like a real traumatic struggle, And then the guy, it was wrapped around his arm, and then he was able to pull it off and then just jump out for a minute. Kind of like he was taking a break or something. And what was so strange was, and that thing was swimming around in the water, and I was like, dang, that's a pretty darn big snake. And then I see a little kid, like a toddler, get in the water. And then I was like, oh, But the snake didn't even go near the toddler. It just kind of keep swimming around. And I was like, oh, what's going on? And then the parents came and pulled the kid out of the water, and it was fine. And I was like, dang, that was really strange. Like, wow. And I was kind of sitting at the edge because I thought, oh, I guess the snake is safe for the kid. Maybe safe for me too. I don't know, but not for this person. And I was sitting and I had my feet in there in the water, and I was watching it swim around. And then it decides to come up towards me. And for a second, I was nervous. And I turned to the person that was struggling with the snake. I was like, oh my God, is this thing going to bite me? And so the snake came up, and I was like, ah. And then I kind of moved my arm because I thought it was opening its mouth to bite me. And it did put its mouth around my hand, but it didn't bite down. It kind of went to the side. And I was like, oh. And then I pet it, I pet it. And then it started to transform into a dog. Like the top portion of it. And then I started petting it and scratching it like a doggy and giving it love. You know what I mean? Like, oh, the snake tail was still there. It was still a snake, but it was loving on me like a dog would, and appreciating that I was scratching and petting it. And then I was like, oh, and it was nice. It was weird. Then it gets back in the water, and then this person goes back in the water, and once again, it was like attack mode, attacking and water thrashing, like it was after the guy. The guy was struggling with the snake, just like it was crazy. And I was like, what the heck is that? And then I woke up. That was a weird dream. Okay, I don't know what that was all about until I went on the walk. And certain things started flowing through my mind because I couldn't stop thinking about the dream, you know? What I've come up with. I am not a dream interpreter, okay? But I can put puzzles together and I can figure stuff out, right? And what I've concluded is the snake was an aspect of a person's life, okay? Depending on what it is. The toddler didn't get attacked because it hasn't really reached points in its life where it has to deal with any trauma, so the snake left it alone. Like the snake is trauma, okay? So it didn't mess with the child. When it came to me, that showed me that whatever this situation is, because we all have different trauma situations, but this was a specific situation. Whatever this situation is, I have healed from that. That's why it was able to come to me and let me pet it, and everything was nice and dandy and loving, right? For me, so the dream really didn't have to do with me per se. It had to do with the person I know. Like my dream was trying to show me something that the person I know might be going through. I don't know. I'm not woo or anything like that. We all have dreams, right? But those dreams mean something. I don't know how that works scientifically, but it's something, right? And it brought me to realize that whatever, you know, like for example, the snake is the trauma. The water is emotions, right? So the snake, I was able to sit in the water with my feet in there, and the snake came to me, and that's telling me that I have healed from some of the emotional trauma that I have had in my life, which I can agree with that. The child hasn't really been through anything like that yet. Who knows in the future? I don't know. But the snake ignored the child because the child doesn't have any emotional issue. The snake came to me, I feel, to kind of reward me or congratulate me in a way with love somehow, and wanted me to pet and love on it, and it didn't bite me, right? The person I know, though, was completely struggling with the snake. The snake was winding around it. It was a struggle. The water was flying everywhere. And so to me, I feel like that was a struggle that someone I know is dealing with. They have some sort of emotional trauma in their life that they are absolutely struggling with. They're having a hard time healing themselves from whatever this emotional trauma is. Okay? And see, me thinking about this story brought me to the conclusion of the last story, because then I started thinking, and then puzzle pieces, and you know what I'm saying? But I've come to realize that somebody in my life that I kind of actually cut them out of my life, I'm starting to begin to realize why they may have been acting the way they were acting. And it could be because they were dealing with some sort of emotional trauma. The snake who was attacking them. So this is a person most likely who doesn't know how to understand that or cope with it or deal with it or whatever. So somebody out there that I know is dealing with trying to overcome some sort of emotional trauma. Now, I don't know why that showed up to me in a dream, like why I need to know that, why I should care, because I kind of felt like, to be honest with you, that person was trying to put me through some sort of emotional trauma. And once I felt that, I was like, you can't be in my life. Like my cutoff game is strong, you guys. If I see a problem or feel uncomfortable or don't like something or overthink about something that I don't need to be overthinking about, I cut them out. I cut that out. I don't want that in my life. I'm happy. I love my dogs. I love what I get to do and travel around, and I don't have any stresses really. So I don't want to add any more to that because I'm still trying to heal from other stuff, right? I don't need extra. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't know why that was brought to my attention about this is why somebody was this way. I don't know if I'm supposed to keep that person in my life to help them or what. I mean, I've already cut them off. I even told them that I don't even want to be acquainted with them anymore because they put me through a lot of mental turmoil when I was kind of communicating with them until I was like, that's it. I'm done. I can't do it. And then I cut them off right away. Because, that person doesn't know the emotional trauma they were bestowing on me. They were projecting that on me. I don't want that. I don't want to deal with that. So I'm really kind of not sure why it showed up for me in a dream, why this person was this way to me. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that. I don't, if anything, I don't know why I'm supposed to be wondering about that person. I don't know if why I'm supposed to be helping. Am I supposed to help them? I don't know, but as far as I know, I had to open the door for Brian. I kind of only know that I don't want to carry anybody's burdens. You know what I'm saying? I really don't. And maybe I might bump into that person again. I don't know. But at least I know that it wasn't me. Because at first I thought, was it me? Is that person trying to use me? Is this person playing games? Or like, I don't like that. So I don't know. Maybe I might bump into them in the future. No one can find me, first of all. Because I don't tell anyone exactly where I am. I might say the state I'm in. But states are big. I could be anywhere. You know what I'm saying? But I honestly don't know why that person showed up in my dream like that. But I mean, I know in the dream, like I have overcome something, and I'm very happy about that. But why they were showing me this person, I don't know. Possibly because I was thinking that it was all me, all my fault, all this, and it's not. It's because that person had a problem. But that's not my problem, But I'm kind of feeling like if I do interact with that person again, I bump into them out and about, maybe a conversation will happen. Because I also remember when they were in the car sleeping and I was talking to them in the car, I did have a conversation with them. I actually told them everything how I felt about them and the bad things that I thought it wasn't right that they were doing. I laid it on. I laid it on them. And then that's when we went to the pool and then I saw the struggle because this person has an emotional trauma issue. Yeah, but it's not my fault. I don't know. Maybe this is a way of God showing me like, I should help. But I don't know. I don't know because that person kind of made me feel and think certain things and I didn't like it. So I don't know, but that's what I gathered from that, this person, they've got some emotional trauma that they are fighting with, the snake, and it's emotional because of the water flaring around. Like they don't know how to cope with it, or they don't know how to deal with it, or I don't know. Maybe I'm supposed to help. I don't know. I honestly, I just don't know. But that's what I gathered from that dream without looking it up. Like if I really am stumped on a dream, I will go online and go to that, what is it called? dreammoods.com. And it kind of tells you all the stuff that's what certain things could mean, but I didn't need to go there because the whole narrative just came through like so clearly that I didn't need to figure out what it was. Yeah. So, and once again, you guys, I'm not woo or any kind of, everyone out there has the capability to figure out stuff. Right? I have a lot of time on my hands. I do tarot. I read tarot. I listen to my own readings because when I'm reading them, I'm just kind of trying to interpret the cards and tell a story and this and that. I'm not really putting two and two together until I watch it again. You know what I mean? I don't really know. And then, and then I watch it again and I realize stuff because, it's so easy for us as traumatized people, anyone out there, it's easy for us to give advice to other people, but it's really hard for us to take our own advice, right? I am great at giving advice, you know what I'm saying? And I've come to realize with doing the tarot and having to re-listen to my readings again that I'm going to take my own advice. If something comes up and I realize something and I'm giving advice to someone else, that advice is for me too. It's not just for whoever out there, it's for me too. And that has helped me to realize my own traumas and what's going on by taking my own advice, right? And that has helped me a lot. That's why also now in my readings, I've been saying for people to get their own tarot cards and you can read for yourself. All you have to do is get your phone, stand it up by the cards and do the reading, speak it out loud, even if you have to open the book and define and figure it out and give the advice, then watch the reading again and take your own advice. This is why I can't understand, like I can read for myself. I will do it like that. This is why I can't understand why readers say, I can't read for myself. And then they're claiming, oh, these are messages from God. Why would God give you a gift and not give a gift to you that you yourself can't use? This is where it's kind of, oh no, you're kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? It's not a gift from God. You studied the tarot and you most likely have been through some things in your life so you can give examples. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. Anything that has to do with God, or you have to go look for that yourself. You have to establish that relationship yourself. It's not going to come from cards. It's not going to come from a reader. It's going to, maybe you will get advice or whatever, but it's not messages from God. No one can speak for God. You know what I'm saying? It's just that easy. But people seem to think that they can, which there's karma for that. So, and people, I've seen tarot readers leave the tarot community because they realize and they have bad karma. No, you have bad karma because you're using it wrong. Because you're claiming that these things come from spirit, or what spirit, by the way? What spirit are we talking about here? Because I'm not trying to conjure up any kind of weird spirits, if that's true. I'm not trying to speak for God. I'm just trying to read some stories and give you examples from my own life experiences. That's why our life is put in a certain direction, because it has been planned for us already, because we're supposed to go through these trials and tribulations and traumas so we can help others to heal from them, right? It's not messages from God. It's not. And it's up to every individual out there to find their own relationship with God, not through a tarot reading. It's time for you to open some books, go into different sects of religions, find out information of this and that. It's your responsibility to do research to figure out, your own religious stuff, right? All right. But yeah, that story was a trip. And hopefully someone gets something out of this, because yeah, I thought it was very interesting. But that's all I have. I'm Mona, and this was for the Dream Journal. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.